Oh my gosh, I was recording and you guys weren't seeing me, right? Anyways, welcome to my live. I am Carey and I am from Kingston, Jamaica. I'm a Canva champion and I'm just excited to be here this evening to go through 1 hour of how you can create your social media designs, or should I say content, using Canva. And I'm just going to walk you through how you can utilize Canva, how to make the most out of its features, how to make the most out of the tools so you can create your content, engage your audience, and I mean your target audience, and also just be able to constantly show up online utilizing tools like the content scheduling tool, right? So I'll be tapping into some of the features of Canva free version and the Canva Pro, and I'm just really excited to share with you everything that I know on how you can, literally create your content on Canva using for your business, right? So welcome to my channel. If you're watching the live, thank you for being here and joining me. If you're watching the replay, thanks for watching the replay. You're gonna get so much out of this. And if you want more content on Canva tutorials and tips for beginners, easy to follow, then this channel is definitely for you. And I want you to subscribe to my channel at Carey Digital. So I'm ready to go. But before I dive in, I want to share with you that this video is part of my training series, Grow Your Biz Presence Online Using Canva. So it's a 6-week exclusive training series on how you can utilize Canva to grow your online presence. So I just want to just give you a quick little background in terms of, my online presence, how I even got started, and why it's important for me to even touch on this topic in terms of creating social media content and you utilizing social media to build your online presence. So quick backstory. Back in 2011, when I just graduated from university, I was very eager to get ready to work in the working world, but as applying to jobs, and literally it was crickets. No one was responding to me. I was sending out tons of applications and nothing was working. So I decided, like, hey, what can I do to start making some money? And so, because I was a girl who loved fashion accessories and knew a lot about it, I decided to purchase some accessories and start selling. And so for me, my first avenue was jumping on social media. And at that time, I jumped on Facebook and I started taking really great product photos, inviting my friends and colleagues to like my Facebook page and, start sharing them. And, funny enough, most recently, I found one of the posts that I shared on my Facebook, like, hey, follow me at the time I called it Ellie Accessories, right? I was like, hey, follow me at Ellie Accessories and purchase accessories, to style up your outfits when you're going out and whatever. But though I was taking really great product photos and I was telling people to buy, it was crickets for months, right? Or literally weeks, because I was just selling, selling, selling. I wasn't providing any value to my customers. And that was a big not red flag, but was a big no, because all I was doing was focusing on making the money, but not providing value to my audience or my customers. And so it was just crickets. And then because at that time I was just really into blogging, like learning about blogging, reading blogs, I decided to create a blog. And so I created a blog at the time, and that blog helped me to reach a wider audience. And through the blog I would create like not video but post on how you can wear the pieces, how other persons were wearing the pieces, why you should buy the pieces. So I wasn't only selling accessories, but I was showing you or selling you a lifestyle or how you could look really good wearing these pieces. And so over time I started to get clients and also got a wider reach, because not only was I selling to them but as providing value. And then, later on, I moved on to, creating another platform called For Women to Women. And again, I started there on Facebook. But the difference this time was that I was creating content that was of value for my audience. At that time, I was just creating content like, hey, you know what? these are your pain points and these are the articles you should be reading. These are the things that's going to help you. So I'd provide tips, I'd provide a guide, I'd share articles and videos and that kind of thing. And so over time, that Facebook page grew into just being a Facebook page to being more of a community. So it moved from a Facebook page into a blog, built it into a community. So I started having in-person events, and the network grew, right? And I started having events in Jamaica, in New York. All of those things, I started traveling to India for speaking engagements, all because of my work and time investments and everything in building that brand from nothing. And I want to give you a quick thing. I have to admit, I'm an introvert. I really don't like being on camera. Or should I say, I've gotten a lot more comfortable on camera. The first time I went on camera, I fumbled over my words. And sometimes I still do fumble over my words. But a big thing that I talk about in my series is that my training series is that, hey, regardless of where you are, whatever you think about yourself, you can move from point zero to a next level when you step outside of your comfort zone and start building your online presence. So you can check out my series on grow your biz presence using Canva, because I even dive a little deeper in terms of how you can utilize the features in Canva to create social media graphics, websites, presentations, and how you can integrate it with third-party tools. All right, so I'm excited about that. But a big thing for this session is that we're going to talk about, or actually, I'm going to walk you through how you can utilize Canva to grow your online presence by creating social media graphics, and not just any graphic that I'm not talking about just any random graphic. I'm not talking about those blurry graphics or those graphics with watermarks. I'm not talking about graphics that is not cohesive and it is not visually appealing. I'm going to show you how you can create visually appealing graphics utilizing Canva. So I'm going to give you the foundations, and because I'm finished with all the talking, we're going to dive right into it. All right, so let's go. One of the things I want you to do is to subscribe to my channel at Carey Digital. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. All right. All right, so here you're seeing the Canva homepage. And if you're brand new to Canva, this is what the homepage looks like for Canva, right? Let me just hide this. This here, close this here. Right, so this is what the home page looks like for Canva. And one of the things about Canva, it's a very innovative platform. It's always evolving, always changing. So the platform and the layout you see here today might change in a few weeks, a few months, or whichever time, right? But regardless of the time you watch this video, it will still have value to you, right? A lot of the concepts remain the same, a lot of the tools remain the same. Only thing you might see differently is just like a way better upgraded version that you should tap into. So one of the first things about creating social media content is that you have to have your foundation right. And I'm very big on having your foundation right, or making sure that your foundation is right. And when I talk about foundation in terms of your Canva, is that you need to definitely have some amount of understanding of your brand personality, your brand colors. What are you doing in order to show and bring your brand alive, right? And so one of the tools that I like to point to for any beginner is the brand tool. And with the brand tool is where you'll find like your brand kit, your brand templates, and your brand controls. But for this session, we're just going to touch on the brand kit. So you'll see here that I have a number of different brand kits that I've actually created. And one of them I'm going to touch on is the one that I've created for my own brand, Carey Digital. Mind you, it's not updated, but the foundation remains the same. And it really helps a lot. And you'll see how it helps a lot, especially when I'm creating the templates here and creating the content. So one of the things here is that with your brand kit, it gives your brand as I said, a voice, an identity. So wherever you show up online or offline for your business, it should speak and have the same language, right? And so the things that help you to speak the same language would include your colors and your font. And like you see here, I have my logo, right, which needs to be changed out, by the way. And I have my brand colors. So for this, these are my primary colors that I utilize on my brand. And if you should go on my Instagram page, you'll realize that I utilize them the same way. I'm just going to tap over on my Instagram and give you an idea of what I'm talking about here, right? So you're seeing that all the colors that I utilize are pretty much the same. I'm going to change my view a bit so you guys can see or get a better view of what I'm doing. All right, great. So this is what my Instagram looks like. And pretty much I use all the brand colors to create my social media graphics. So one of the things is that because I'm consistent, I am and cohesive, it builds some amount of trust. So you are like, hey, what Carey-Lee is doing and showing up as makes sense because she's not flip flopping. There's not one minute she's using orange and another minute she's using purple and gold and another minute she's using green. It's pretty consistent right across the board, right? And that's something you should bear in mind when you're creating your social media graphics. Your colors, your brand should be on point and cohesive and consistent. That's a big thing that I have to reinforce right here. So from the foundation, get the colors right, get your brand identity right, and then you start diving deeper into that. And then over time, if you want to change the colors or you want to evolve, that's totally fine. But if you're starting out with, for instance, a purple and green, just saying, then you start from there and over time you evolve. But don't be all over the place with different colors, right? Okay, so I'm back to my brand kit, and how you literally create a brand kit is by accessing this tool here called brand. One of the things I want you to be mindful of is that your anytime you see a crown here, that means it's on the Canva Teams or Canva Pro version, right? And so I have access to Canva Pro. And if you want access to Canva Pro, you can click my affiliate link and you can try it free for 45 days if you're already on the free version, right? And if you want to just test it out, try out all the features that I'm going to share here today in this tutorial. All right. So I'm going to just show you how you can quickly create a brand kit. And I've actually created this same, tutorial video in my series called Grow Your Biz Presence using Canva. So I'm going to create a brand kit. And so you would select tools, which is brand. Then you'll say brand kit, brand templates, and I'm going to select add new and select brand kit. Then in this case, I'm going to call the base my Carey Digital fam. All right, or yeah. So one of the first things you see here is that it is blank, right? It shows you that you can add your own brand logo, you can add your brand colors and your brand font. So the first thing is that you want to get your color palette. What is the emotion that you want to evoke through your business? What is the message you're sending? Are you more from a health standpoint? Are you more from a standpoint where you're about, you're about what would I say, wealth or luxury, right? So if based on what you're speaking about, then that would help you to determine which colors you should best utilize. So once you're in the health industry, naturally you think about greens and blues and yellows, those type of colors. And if you're thinking about a brand that is strong or has a very strong personality, we think about the reds, right? So one of the things is that I'm going to include a link to where you can access more resources on how to choose your brand colors. But for right now, I'm just going to show you how, Canva can literally give you a quick start on choosing your color palette. So for me, I'm going to choose this color here, right? And then Canva can make suggestions based. So once I start clicking them, it gives me like recommended colors that blend in nicely with this first color, right? I can also go here. So I'm going to go back and click this plus sign, and I can utilize one of these existing color palettes that is suggested by Canva, right? And I'm going to choose way up north. I'm going to delete this one so I don't need it. And so I have these colors here, right? So if you're just starting out and you're not sure where to start, utilize the suggested colors, or maybe you can, maybe you find a photo that has really great colors that you'd like to use, and you can start choosing colors from there, right? And then you can go here and choose your brand font. And again, your fonts also connects with your colors, as well as the type of message you want to send, or the emotion you want to evoke based on your font. So don't ever take that for granted. All right, so I'm just going to stick with some my usual fonts, which is Poppins. That's actually one of my favorite fonts and one of the fonts I utilize on my own brand. So I'm choosing Poppins, and then I'm going to choose another one called Poppins, right? So later with the brand fonts, you have so many different sizes. So you can go here and also change the size for your, so there are three different segments. This is your header, this would be a sub heading, and this would be the body of your text. So for the body of the text, it's normally smaller, and I made a mistake there. I made it really huge. So I'm going to make it smaller and make it a size 12. All right, so I have my colors and I have my fonts, and now I am ready. If, for instance, you don't see a font that you like on Canva, which I think is hard to believe, or maybe you have a font that you're already utilizing that's not on Canva, you can go to a website called DaFont. So I'm going to go, it's one of my go-to platforms for finding fonts. You can go to DaFont.com, and on DaFont.com, you'll find all the different fonts you can utilize for your own brand, right? And you can choose your fonts based on different categories. Maybe it's fancy, you want a fancy looking font, or maybe you want something more techno, or you want something basic. Whatever you decide to choose, there's a font for you, right? And it's similar with that in Canva as well. So let me just touch on that, because I don't think I did. So I could go to Canva and I'd say, hey, I want a font that is modern, right? Whatever modern means for you, or contemporary. See, it even give you a suggestion. And it pops up different fonts that would fall under that category of it being modern. Or if you want to say you want a script font. So Canva will also give you suggestions on fonts that are script, right? So those are some things you have to be mindful of. But back to the font. If you find a font on the font that you would like, you would simply download it and you send it to your downloads, and you would upload let me just do that. Let me not rush through this part here. I don't want to take it for granted that you know. So I'm going to just save this font, and I'm going to open it in my folder. Open with. And so I have my fonts here, right? And we're going to upload the TTF format, right? So I'm going to go back to my Canva dashboard, and I'm going to go to upload font, look for the folder that has the font, and select the font I want to upload. And it's, of course, it's going to tell you that, hey, it's going to confirm that the font you want to use is right for you have the right to use it. And maybe you're using it for commercial purposes. You want to ensure that whichever font you're using, you have the commercial rights to utilize it. That's an important thing, right? So this is the font that we have uploaded, right? And then we can just simply change it out here, right? And it's the font that we uploaded, and we can change. All right, but we're going to switch it back to Poppins since we just want to remain consistent throughout. All right. So if you have questions in between, guys, please feel free to drop a comment, ask your questions, and I will just, answer them as best as I can throughout the session. Okay. All right, so we have selected our colors, we have selected our fonts, and now we are ready to create our brand template. And as I said, when you're thinking about creating social media graphics, it's important for you to have the foundation right. So we already start with the foundation because we have the colors and we have the fonts. And now it's time for us to create like a brand template. So with our brand template, it helps you to stay on brand, just like I've been saying, with everything. And I'm going to select, hold on, a little. Okay. Close that, create brand template. In this case, we are going to create a brand template for Instagram. So our focus for this session is Instagram. So like many of you, most of our audience is on Instagram, whether it's whether you're in the health industry or you're just focusing on the luxury industry or real estate, or maybe you're in law, whichever field you're in, chances are you are utilizing Instagram. So we're going to focus on Instagram. And one of the things about Canva is that all the social media templates are already optimized for social media. So you don't have to worry about you creating a graphic in social media and it's not the correct size. All you need to do when you're designing your graphics is to ensure that you are creating the design or the graphic for the right platform. So you don't have image popping up on, you created something for Facebook post and you're posting it as an Instagram story and it looks all small and all over the place, right? We have to be mindful that, hey, when I'm creating a social media graphic, it's for the correct platform so we can have things inline and cohesive. So I'm going to give my file a name and I'm going to call it training template, right? And so we have a blank canvas here, and this can be a little intimidating for persons who are new to Canva or have no graphic designing background. But I'm going to show you how you can make this less intimidating, right? So with the blank canvas, one of the things I like to suggest is that you use existing templates. If you're new to Canva or if you're new to design, just do yourself a favor and utilize templates, right? And don't think about the very complex templates. Use something very simple, and then over time, as you keep learning and keep growing, then you can start using different templates. But for right now, we're using a very simple template. All right, so I'm going to use an existing template and I'm going to show you how you can utilize an existing template and make it your own by utilizing your own brand colors and fonts. All right, so one of the templates I'm going to create, let's say we're going to think about creating a announcement template. All right, so I'm going to do an announcement template and I'm trying to find one here. All right, so I'm going to choose this one. So maybe you want to announce like a new podcast, or you want to announce a new video or a new product, whatever you want to announce. This is like a very basic, in my opinion, template that you can utilize. If you don't think it's basic, you can let me know, right? But with this template, you can simply make it your own, and I'm going to show you how you can do just that. So we have the template here, and now we're going to go to the section that says color. So we choose the color, we choose the background, and now we're going to, once you select the color on the left hand side, you're going to see all the brand kits here. And I'm going to look for the brand kit that I literally just created called Carey Digital Farm. And so one of the first things I'm going to start doing is like, hey, which colors do I want to utilize? And one of the things I want to point out here is that with your templates, or with your brand, I should say, you have primary colors and secondary colors, right? So you're going to have like colors that are more dominant, and then there are other colors that are more complementary. So think about it. In this case, I would utilize this color, sorry, as a primary color, this one as a primary color, this one as a primary color, and utilize these two and this one as a secondary color. So pretty much your primary color is the most dominant one, and the other one and the secondary colors would be colors that complements it. All right. So I'm going to change my background color here, right? And then I'm going to go here and I'm going to put your text goes here, right? Remember, this is a existing template that we're making our own. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to, so first thing, I'm changing out all the colors. And then I'll change the text. I'll do everything in alignment, right? So I don't want to be all over the place. But if you're not following, just let me know or make a comment on anything that you believe I can improve on. I'd really love your feedback on, how I can improve this session and make it the best for you, especially if you're a beginner starting out, right? So I'm going to choose a color here and wait. So one of the things here is that you'll realize the fonts and colors are joined. So it's using the effects. So we're going to change it here. All right. So before I just go even deeper. So one of the things is when I select this font, I realize it's an effect. And so that's one of the features on Canva, which is called effects, where you can play around with how your text look and feel. And so this particular text that had the background was called text with background, and we can change it. But in our case, we're going to keep it. We're just going to change the color, right? And we change the color there. And we said join our podcast. We're going to change that color as well, right? And then we're going to change out these ladies. So we're deleting the photos and then we're going to delete their names from here. Or let me just keep that one and I'm going to show you how you can change the placement of that. Right, I'm going to duplicate it. So anytime you see this icon, it's called a duplicate. So when I duplicate it here, and I'm going to change the rotation. So we're not doing anything majorly different. We just want to make it more for our own. So we're changing how it's laid out on the page. And then I'm going to change the effects from background to none. I'm going to change my color. Right. And then I'm going to change the name and say, let's call her. So we're going to change the size. And one of the things, if you don't want to if you have a font size in mind or style in mind, you can simply select it, right? So we're going to do Control A. On a Mac, it's Command A. And then we're going to look for the copy style icon, which is normally on the top right, select, and then bam, right? So you can quickly change that there. So because I didn't do it properly there, I'm going to just do it here. All right, good. So we have it here, we have changed it, and we're going to start changing the fonts. So remember, one of the things we want to do is to be consistent. So we're going to go back to our brand kit and we're going to start choosing the font from our brand kit and swapping them out from the existing ones that was on the original template. Change up the style a bit. All right. And right. Then if, for instance, you want to, I believe I'm going to change this. I don't necessarily like that. So we're going to go to none. If you have a little more graphic designing background or experience with Canva, then of course you can play around with it a bit. But if you are fresh, new to Canva, you don't want to overwhelm yourself with trying to change everything. You just pace yourself, take your time, and just make the necessary adjustments, right? So we have our text here, and then I'm going to keep this effect. Okay, so join our podcast, or should we say join our Instagram live. I think that's a good one since you know, a lot of us want to start building our online presence and tap more into, you know, build, being more out there and more bold. Uh, So I have this tool that I use called Grammarly just to ensure that when I'm creating my designs, I also have the correct spelling. So it can be a little bit annoying, but it's also very useful. All right. So I have my Instagram live here. I think I'm going to change this as well. I'm going to change the color. Just going to make it bolder. Right. Right. And I'm going to change it to all caps. And I can make the letter spacing wider, right? So this is us pretty much. And utilize tools like this to just, rotate, have some fun with it. I could even do a curve text, right? So if I wanted to do a curve text, I could do that. We're not doing that right now, but those are some features that you can utilize in Canva. But definitely play around with the effects tools, because you can have so much fun in terms of just creating a different type of styles when you're creating your text using for your social media graphic. All right, so now we're going to start adding some photos here, right? And I'm going to look for photos. So once you select elements, you will find like photos and graphics and stickers and all of that thing. But for right now, we're focusing on photos, and I'm going to look for African American woman, right? So I found like a awesome lady here. I'll drop it there, and I'm gonna find another lady and pop her here. So a lot of the features on Canva is just like a quick, drag and drop, quick move around. If you make a mistake, you can quickly undo, and everything is in the cloud, so you don't have to worry. You just want to ensure you have very good internet connection, and then we can take it from there, right? But we want to make this, design a little bit more vibrant. I'm gonna delete this. And if you want to make your design a little more vibrant, you can still go back to elements and you can type in probably abstract. Like for me, I like to use abstract. You might realize it on my social media, which is at Carey Digital on Instagram. So you can use abstract shapes. You can even use shapes. You can even add photos. I'm going to show you that in a few. But let's say I'm going to add an abstract shape here. Hold on, let me just adjust this text. So we can use an abstract shape. We can change the rotation again, and we can just change the color, right? And then I can duplicate that, can add it there, can do another duplication. You don't want to overwhelm, make the design fussy, but just have fun with it. Try different things. If it's not working, then you change it, of course, right? Nothing is set in stone. You want a design or just your overall image to fit in with your brand personality. So for this design, I'm going for something a little bit more fun and free flowing. So that's why I'm utilizing abstract shapes, right? And one of the features on Canva is that once you start choosing a particular element, Canva also makes magic recommendations, which is a feature I also love, right? So I'm looking for magic recommendations, and I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to change the color to make a nice blue, and to delete that line because I don't like it. I don't think I even like this shape either. I'm going to delete that one. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to change the rotation. Let's see. Yeah. Right. So we have some colors here. Have some amount of personality. Want to change this font size, or this font at least. Right. We'll go to poppins. Can change the shape. Right. One of the things I'm going to show you how you can use the curve text in this case. And I'm going to show you that you can utilize the curve text. So I can literally curve my text around the circle, right? I'm gonna remove it from move this down, and make it to none. I'm gonna change the color here, make it less bold. Can change the spacing of the letter, right? I'm gonna delete this one. It's a little too big, so we can make it smaller, right? And then we can duplicate it again, move it over, right? And then if you, for instance, you wanted to change the position, you could also do that, right? And then I'm going to change, what did I say I was going to change? Right. So I have it here. It doesn't read well. So if, for instance, you're using a particular font and it wouldn't read well, of course, you can always change it back. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what that could look like. All right. So we change that. We're deleting this. And then we're going to just quickly do a duplicate, move it over. change the name and call her Rose just for this case, right? But I feel like the design could do with a little bit more because at the end of the day, we don't want to just create mediocre text or not text but graphics. You want something that would like pop. And for me right now, I'm not getting a pop, right? So one of the ways it can make your design pop is one, it's based on your fonts, it's based on your colors, it's based on the layout, and even the photos that you utilize. So I'm going to change this effect for this text and make it neon, and I think I'm going to mix it up a bit and incorporate a different color, right? So I'm going to use a little bit here. I think a little bit too much is going on, so I want to try to eliminate that a bit, right? And we make that font smaller, right? Center that text. And one of the things I'm going to show is how you can add an image to the background. So I'm going to go back to elements. I'm going to look for, let's say, woman, American woman. And so I have an image here. I can simply use this image and drop it in the background, and I can even make it transparent and position it back to the background, right? So these are some little things you can do as well to make your design, pop a bit. So choose, based on the colors, choose based on photos and layout, that kind of thing. I don't think I'm a fan of that photo, but either way, it's just for, what you call that, demonstration purposes. There's another way you could add your photo, right? Because if, for instance, I decide to move it around, I can move it around. But if I want to delete it, I can simply delete. But then I can use this element called frames, or grids, I should say. And then I can go back here in elements, look for a photo. African American one, perfect photos. All right. And I think I found, let's say we're going to use this one, right? She's in the background. I'm going to make her very transparent, right? And then I'm going to highlight my text here, my photos here, make them smaller. Can also change the color, right? And one thing with design and just making a fun pop, you just have to try different things that will bring it alive. And I'm going to change the color shape here, change the color there as well. For this purpose, I might even change out the ladies, then I can come here again. If I want to add the effects and change the color of my effects, I can use a yellow, change the text color to blue or black. I'm going to do my good old copy style, right? So you do things that work for your brand and that would stand out, right? So everything is a bit complementary. If you think the photo is too much at the back, you can delete it. If I want to delete that, right, I'm going to show you something else. If, for instance, I see another design or I'm going through other templates, I'm like, hey, I see something that I would like. You can quickly or easily do that on Canva, right? So we're going to look for something that we might like. I'm looking for something. All right, so there's this element here called, like, I believe it's called tear sheet, right? So if, for instance, I like that element, I can simply, I'm trying to see if I could move it over. Don't think it's that easy for me to move over. Let me choose another one. This is a perfect one, right? So if I see an element that I like, I could simply do like drop and drop effects, move them over. This doesn't fit with the image in this case, but these are things that you could do. So I could move over this butterfly, and it all depends on the feel and the look and feel that you're going for, right? So this have a more like bohemian vibe. So if your vibe is not bohemian but more fun, you don't add all kind of random elements just because you feel like it wants something, right? So one of the foundation things is to decide, hey, do I want a simple design? Do I want a geometric design? Do I want a modern design? Do I want something that's contemporary? Think about the look and feel that you're going for and design from that. I'm going to show you also how sometimes I like find other images and group them together and create like a nice abstract. So let me show you. So naturally I have this here and I have this here as well, right? So these are um two different, well, it's the same abstract but two different colors. I'm going to group them. So how you group is like you move the cursor over there, everything is highlighted, and you select the option group. Once you select group, you can make it smaller. And so if I want to create like a pattern effect, I could just simply copy paste, right? Copy, hold on, copy paste, right? But before you start copy pasting, you can do something like, maybe you change the colors first and then you start doing that. So what I'm really trying to do is to make my design very unique, right? I am trying to make my design unique. So I would create something, right? I'm going to group them again and I can make it bigger and I can do something like that, right? Or I could copy and paste it, and I could, you know, just add, just make it fun, make it different. So when somebody say a design, they're like, wait, who designed that? Was it you? So these are some little things I would do sometimes to just make my design stand out or make it unique, you know. You change the placement, we'll have fun with it and so on. So I think I've been spending a lot of time on this, and I hope you get the gist of it, which is there's just so much you can do to make your design stand out or more, engaging for the eyes. So if you feel like there's too much white space or if you feel like it's too crowded, you can always adjust, right? You're not like going to be like, oh, I know how to do everything. Let me just start and be everything from perfect. It's just have once you have the foundation right, and all the basic elements together, then I believe you are pretty much good. All right. So this is just a quick, simple design, I would like to think, and I'm showing you how you can. This is like a template, right? So because it's a template, I'm going to delete some of these photos and I'm going to show you how you can quickly resize. But let me just check in and see who have questions for me. And I don't see any questions. So we're going to dive right back in. Okay. All right. So we have selected our template and now I'm going to publish it as a template, and I could have the option to save it as a team template, or and I could save it to a project, right? So I have publish template, and template is published. I can now view my template. All right, so now I have my template here, and every time I need to create a design, I can come back here and start utilizing this template. And I'm going to show you how you can quickly and easily resize your template for different purposes. So now we're going to resize this template into an Instagram story. All right, let me do Instagram story and copy and resize. So I would suggest using copy and resize, because once you copy and resize, you still have the original template there, right? Or the original design there. In this case, we already have a template, but for this purpose, we're doing a copy and resize. Copy and resize. Now we have our story. And maybe I'm going to promote, and you can say, join me live, right? The one thing with the resize tool is that it saves a lot of time, and I'm all about time saving acts, right? And any feature on Canva that helps me to save time and get more productivity in, I am all for it. And the resize tool is one such tool. I'm gonna have some water. All right, so I have this here. I have my elements. I'm gonna change the layout here, make it a bit fun. All right. Then if I want to use tool, I'm gonna put the date here at the top. And just change the put. So any once one other thing you need to know about utilizing templates is that when you resize, you can just easily reposition. And I'm just gonna reposition these elements, show you how you can easily utilize them. All right, so I've resized that, I've made it bigger, and bam, so that can be now your Instagram story template, right? And I can, if I want to add a photo or image, I can just do a simply drag and drop again, right? Can make the text smaller. I can make things a little bit more fun. All right, so we have it here, and that's our Instagram story layout and design. All right, and that's it. So that's for Instagram story. But maybe you're like, right now Instagram is on this train of creating reels. How can I create an Instagram reel? And I'm excited to show you how you can create your Instagram reel. And let's go. So I'm gonna resize. Well, on, let me just save this because it's very important. So you have to save our designs, Instagram story template, and save. One of the things I must point out before I start creating Instagram reel, ensure that you are saving your files into folders. And I'll just touch on that a little, right? So one of the things is that I can add it to a folder. So all my designs, so you realize all my designs all over the place. I can select them all here, and then I can select folder, move to a folder, or I can create a new folder. And for this purpose, I'm going to call it testing Carey Digital. Add a new folder. So pretty much your folders help you to be organized and you can easily find the designs. So if for instance you come back in and you need to find this original design, you can scroll all the way through, or you can just simply search Carey Digital testing, and I can easily see all my templates, all my designs here. And I think the folders work really well for organization standpoints. If I have a video that talks about organizing your folders and how it helps you just to stay on top of your game in Canva, and I'll just drop it in the description below so you can check out that video to learn how you can create folders and how you can better utilize them, especially when you're creating tons of graphics in Canva. All right. Now we are going to create our Instagram reel. So we're going to go to resize and we're going to search for reel. So I'm going to select Instagram reel, copy and resize. I'm going to close this first one here. And so you realize the format is just a little different because one, reels is naturally about videos. Reels is naturally about videos. And so because it's a video, you're going to see this option here just to, you can play. We can add a little animation, and we're going to touch on that a little bit because I know we're talking about engaging our audience. So we have to make the thing fun, yeah? And I'm going to add another page here. And say, for instance, we are just going to talk about 4 tips on, let's delete that, building a business, right? So I have that here. And to delete that, so I'm gonna just show you how we're gonna change up the elements, move things around, include and add new elements. So we're gonna make this a bit bigger 4 tips on building a business. No, I'm gonna look for I'm gonna make this small. I don't want that. I don't want notes. Hide pages, correct. So if for instance you want to see the pages below, you can utilize this, and I don't want to see them, so I'm gonna hide the page. All right. So I'm going to go now and I'm going to look for, so you can go through templates again, existing templates, and start utilizing. But I'm just going to go and utilize the elements, find a grid, and start working. So I have a grid here and I'm going to change the position, make it smaller. And now I am going to look for a video. Right, so when I look for a video and I'm going to type in business, since that's what we're talking about, I'm going to do a drag and drop. All right, so I have 4 tips on building a business, and we can add some animation. So I'm going to add animation to my text. So I'm going to click animate, can rise, and I can choose different animation for different text, right? So this is something as well that you can have fun with. So you can choose like basic. So that would include like a simple look a rise or a pan or fade, or you can even change the speed, right? So that's something you have to be mindful of. You maybe want to change for the character. So writing style, is it a character, word, line? We have so much fun. You can choose for writing, typewriter, ascend, right? So these are all the different fonts that you can, not fonts, but styles you can use for animation. But in our case, we're going to stick with the basic and work with Rise. Keep it simple. All right. And then now I am going to also animate my elements. I'm going to choose pop. So you could literally choose all the elements to be animated. I think a little some. All right, so animate and pop. Right, so if you want to choose all the elements, just simply select all and choose the animation style that you want. Right, and this is what we have. I'm going to use pop. All right, so already we see things coming together, but if you have not, you want to see what it looks like before you finish, you just click play and you see what it looks like. All right, so that's our first design layout for first page. Now we're going to choose like a second page and we're going to duplicate one of the elements, which is our text, and I'm going to say tip 1, and I'm going to copy and paste again. I'm going to copy and paste. What am I doing? Copy, paste, right, and tip 1. Let's see, start with a Y. All right, and maybe you want to add like another video here as well. So I'm gonna add a video. Let me go again, and I can copy this, which is my grid. Copy. Hold on, I'm moving too fast here. Copy, paste. Right, and I could change the layout and drop it in the background. So I'm gonna do that. Position, background. I could utilize the effects, my text effects, and you make it easier to read. Right. So tip 1, start with a Y. Then I want to change the image in the background, the video in the background, I should say. And I'm gonna swap it over that young lady. And for videos, you can also always search for what you want. So if I want more African American women, because that's my audience, I can search for them, right? So these are things you have to look for. So swap that out, right? Or maybe I can use this one. Start with a Y. Tip one, start with a Y. I'm gonna go back and change this one here. Right, and then I'm gonna duplicate that page. Tip two, create systems. Right, so we're just gonna stick with two tips, and I'm gonna change this image as this video as well. And this is literally our reel, right? And I'm gonna just play it and let you see what it looks like. And I'm going to show you how you can easily make the reel shorter, right? Because if you realize that this page, first page is a bit too long and it's not flowing as a reel, so I'm going to change the length for the video, and I'm going to make it 5 seconds. I'm going to change this length, and I'm going to make it 1 sec, no, too long, to 5 seconds. I'm going to make all of them 5 seconds, right? And then I can go again and choose not 5 seconds. What did I say? 0.5 seconds, guys. All right, let me go back and play. So you realize it might be too fast. You can come again and you just change the duration for each page. All right, so that's what we're doing. And literally, content creation takes time. It takes time. Don't underestimate it. If you want to create content that resonates with your audience, it takes time. So you see, we created a reel. And so if once you've created your reel, you can simply go to share and download, and you would download it as a MP4 format, which is, in this case, you realize it is suggested. You can choose the MP4 format, and then you can simply download that file. One of the things I'm going to show you is how you can schedule your content to social media, but you have to be mindful that I don't believe Canva can know. It does not facilitate scheduling like reels or stories. So that's a feature upgrade I'm looking forward to for Canva. But you can schedule your other static posts and content to social media, right? So we have gone through creating your brand kit, which is setting the foundation, having the funds created. We have actually also gone through creating a brand template, which is setting a foundation. So every time you go in Canva, you have that template to utilize and resize. And I've literally showed you how you could create your template using an existing Canva template, and utilizing your colors and making it in your own. I've shown you how you can add different elements to make it fun and vibrant and add in your own personality and vibe. I've also showed you how you can resize that one template and making it into different post formats. So we have looked at Instagram posts, we've looked at Instagram story, and we've also looked at Instagram reel, right? And reels is a big thing you want to dive into. So if you want to access my Canva library, so I have a Canva freebie library where you can access some Canva templates for free. So you just want to sign up at templatesbycarey.com. The link is in the description, and in that library you can access templates. I'm actually going to be updating the template, so you want to check that out and dive into everything that I'll be offering, right? Yeah. All right, so we have created the reels, and now I'm going to just go through how you can schedule your social media to what would I call it, your social media post to the social media platform of your choice. I also have a video on that you guys can check out. The link is in my description. But because we're going through how you can create a social media content, it would be not of me to not show you how to schedule your content, because at the end of the day, you can spend all the time creating content, but if you're not posting them online or on your social media, it makes absolutely no sense, right? So one of the features that I love on Canva is the content planner. So the content planner and the scheduling tool is where you can go in and plan your content. So as someone who is a solopreneur or a small business owner, any business owner, You have to ensure that you're on top of your game in terms of creating content and also scheduling your content. So with the content planner, you can go through and see for the months, so today I'm on today, but I can skip through and see for the month and see which events coming up. I can even plan events, right? By creating an event, I can say, okay, in on September 19th or September 10th in this case, I'm having a birthday party and I need to let everybody know that, hey, on my Carey Digital farm, they're invited to the party. I can add a description and I'm just gonna put testing here and I can add it. So, you can add things to you can add events to your calendar. And so when your social media manager, if you go in and you're like, hey, what do I literally need to create content for in February or in September or wherever, you actually can see all the upcoming events. Canva also gives you some upcoming events that you can be mindful of, and you can see and filter the calendars here. So you're going to select this filter tab or not tab, icon, and then you can see your event. You can turn it off, can turn it on and off. You can see social media holidays, regional holidays. So based on where you're located in the world, you can turn on for holidays, you can turn them off. Maybe you're not based in any of these countries, or maybe you don't celebrate holidays, whatever your reason, you can turn them on and off just to see what's coming up and plan your content around it. And this is really good for planning your content. So this is a content planner, and this feature is available when you have a Canva Pro, Canva Teams, right? So if you have the free version, you won't have access to this. And if you want to test out this feature and use it in your very own business, you can utilize a link in my description and try it out for 45 days for free. Test it out, create your content, schedule your content, and that kind of thing. If you want to share your content planner, I can share it with other persons. I can share it on social media platform and different channels. I don't want to do that. I don't think I'd ever do that right now, but that's an option you also have. All right. So say for instance, as I said, it's my birthday and I want to create content. I can select the day and I can start creating a design. So I'm going to select create a design, and then I'm going to choose Instagram Square. So we're not going to go from scratch in terms of creating the design. I'm just going to go back to my folder like I suggested. So let me show you can easily find that folder, right? So if you want to find your folder, you're going to go to the left hand tab where you see templates, elements, uploads, text styles, and you will see more. So naturally you see more. Once you see more, you're going to select folders. Once you select folders, you're going to look for the particular folder. In my case, it's testing Carey Digital. And then now I'm going to choose a design that probably I've created before, or maybe it's a template I've designed. And so now I'm going to create a design. But in my case, I am going to use a design that was created already. Just make some basic adjustments. I'm maybe going to add some images. And one of the things is with Canva scheduling tool, you can schedule your PNG and JPEG and even videos. So if it's a video that you have, you can include it here, right? And you can reposition your videos. So how to reposition your any element, you double click and move it around. All right, so I've added what I wanted to this design, and it's okay for you to make slight adjustments as necessary, right? And then I'm going to go to share. Once I select share, I'm going to go to share on social. And once I select share on social, I have the options to choose any of these platforms. So now I see TikTok, and this is amazing for us TikTokers. You can follow me on TikTok, by the way, at Carey Digital. But you can also share it on your Instagram business and personal page and Facebook page and Pinterest and Tumblr, all of these social media platforms, and even LinkedIn, right? And so now I'm going to choose schedule. Once I select schedule, and remember, anywhere you see like the gold, the not the gold, anywhere you see the crown, that means it's a Canva Teams Canva Pro feature, right? So if you're on Canva free version, you're not able to utilize it. And so I'm going to choose a channel, and in my case, I'll choose Carey Digital, right? And I'm going to choose the format, which is MP4 video, and you can include your caption. So your caption goes here, and then I can simply select schedule, and let's go back here because I don't believe I selected the time just now. So I'm just going to quickly go here. But if I go to my content plan, I see it here, and I see it's scheduled for 8:02, and I can change the time, right? I can go back here. I can change the name of the design, which I did the name initially. I can change which platform I want to share it on. I can go there and change the format of the design. So if I want to probably change it from MP4 to JPEG, that kind of thing. If I want to change a caption, I can do all of that. Bear in mind that once I've scheduled my content, and if I go in and try to edit it, then it's automatically unscheduled, right? So I'd have to save it as a draft. So in my case, I don't need this design at all. So I'm going to save it as a draft so you guys don't see it pop up on my Instagram. But this is how you can just create your content on social media. But then there's another feature of it that you should know, and I believe you'd love as well, which is the analytical tools. So once you schedule your content to social media, you're able to see the analytics and how your content performed on the social media platform of your choice. So for instance, I published this one, which is for Pinterest, and then I can click insights. So one, and realize it's not performing on Pinterest because 0 likes, 0 comments, 0 saves, right? So that means maybe I need to change my approach on social media, or maybe I need to change the design and that kind of thing, right? So that's what the insights help you with. Insights help you to identify if your content is performing, and if it's not performing, how you can improve that, right? But then I'm going to show you insights also for my Instagram post that I did. So I have this post that was published sometime in August, which is August 15. So it gives me the date, it gives me the post, I can see the caption, I can see my hashtags that I utilized, and then I can click insights. So insights help me to see the impressions I got, the reach I got, how many comments, and the likes as well. So this is really good in terms of being able to not only create your content in social media, but not only create your content in Canva, but also being able to see how it is performing. And that's what I love about Canva in terms of it adding this new feature, right? And I'm sure over time it will get even better with you being able to even generate reports, which is something I'm looking forward to, right? And if, for instance, I utilize, a design before, I can simply go in, make a copy, and so on and so forth, right? So this is how you can create a content in Canva. Keep on saying social media. Create your social media content in Canva, and then schedule it to any social media platform of your choice, right? And yeah, I think this is about it. Is this about it? Is this about it? What am I missing? Let's see. I'm going to give you a few extra minutes of my awesome time because I've been having a lot of fun with this, and I don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed. But I want to just tap in here at this moment to say, hey, if you want to learn more about how you can build your online presence, you want to sign up for my training series, Grow Your Biz Presence Online using Canva. It's a 6-week exclusive training series where you can learn how to position your business or yourself or your brand online utilizing tools in Canva, like creating your brand kit, creating your brand template, being able to create your content, utilizing a content scheduling tool, and utilizing content planner to create your content. And I really enjoy just going through and teaching you the ins and outs of utilizing the features in Canva. So if you want to try out these features free for 45 days, just hit the link, my affiliate link in my description, and test it over 45 days for free. All right. And I just want to show you quickly, if for instance you want to include gifts, that's another thing that you can do. I'm going to try and find a graphic here. I'm going to duplicate and I'm going to delete something, and I'm going to show you how you can add gifts. So you have a tool called, or this feature called More, and you can add your emojis. You can go to gifts, and you hold on. I think I move a little bit too fast there. So in the section that says More, you can go and explore like third-party tools such as Bitmoji, Giphy, and even more, right? And I'm going to use Giphy because we're talking about gifts, right? Or GIFs, some people call it. And then you can go through and add it here, right? So this is like if you're adding personality to your designs, right? I'm going to change the dimension. This is just another fun way. This can be a meme. Oh, I am feeling right now. And it's just a great way for your audience to like feel connected to you, and start conversation and build that relationship, because outside of just creating content on social media and posting, it's about building relationships, right? So you can include like your gifts here. So this is how you can add some fun personality to your designs. And I'm gonna just include the links in my description that you can explore and have some fun with, and have a lot of create some really good designs, really, you know to have fun. So guys, it was just a pleasure to just go through and show you how you can just create your content in social media. If there's anything that you think I missed that you really want to learn from me, if you feel like, oh my god, this was so basic, I want something more advanced, let me know. If you feel like I was rushing through anything and you want something a little bit more paced, you can also let me know. I'm open to learning how I can improve my streams for you, how I can improve the content creation for you, and let you understand how you can better utilize Canva, because I am here to share my knowledge, but not only for myself benefit, but for also you to grow online. And I'm really excited that you spent the time here to just watch this video over 1 hour long, where I just dive into so many things. And if you want more videos like this, you want to subscribe to my channel at Carey Digital. I publish videos weekly on Canva tutorials, and I'll be going live. This is a quick announcement. I'll be going live at least once every month, right? So I'll be dropping some details on that soon, but I believe it's just a great way for you to get me one-on-one, for me to just share with you how you can learn to utilize Canva. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you want more videos like this. You definitely need to subscribe. If you're not following me on Instagram, you want to follow me at Carey Digital. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Until then, bye.